I'm going deaf. Oh man. I I I I, I really don't know how I feel about that. You know what? No, I know how I feel. I'm angry. I'm angry with the world. I'm angry that I didn't even get to start my life before all this stuff happened. Ever since a little kid, at the age of 6, I always thought that I was going to be the world's next big actor. And at the age of 6, I started having a lot of ear issues. I've had my first surgery at 6 years old. The first one was because I had my ears used to look like Dumbo. You know, they used to stick out a lot. And my mom didn't want people making fun of me when I got older. If I can go back, I would tell myself or tell my mom not to do that in the first place because I'm not sure if that's what messed it up or just me being premature. You know, and then my second was when I was 8. I had a cholesteatoma. When they went in, they went and it magically disappeared. You know, people would like to say it's a miracle that God helped me out. But I'm angry. And I deserve to be. People go, oh, well, you know, God gave you at least the ability to be able to hear and enjoy life. Yeah, but what about now? Hmm? And then at the age of 10, I had tubes put in my ears. And I'm going to just put you guys right here because I really don't feel. And they did that to see if that would help my hearing, which it didn't at all. And then at a few months later, they went in and they took them back out because they didn't help. You know, that was the beginning of having a little bit of hopelessness. And then at that time, I also had my first hearing aid at the age of 8 to 10. Right? I never wore them because I always felt like people were going to judge me. And I always stood out. You know, I didn't have the type of face that people just look at and like, you know. And then at the age of 15, I randomly woke up one day and my right ear just gave out a lot. You know, I thought it was just earfulness and stuff like that. And a couple days later, we go to the doctor and they say, "Oh, you just had sensorineural hearing loss." You know, they didn't do jack shit about it. They didn't do nothing about it. Um, so that was my new normal. You know, and that was when I started being different. You know, I felt something was off, and I never knew what it was. You know, it was just uh I always thought that I was just lazy, you know, but turns out my ear was actually giving me something that I couldn't figure out what it was, you know? And then at the age of 21, I got COVID. Yay, COVID. And after that my hearing dropped completely, you know? And it wasn't just the hearing that dropped, it was my sense of balance, and I started getting a lot of vertigo and dizziness, and I'm still dealing with that, you know, and it's frustrating that people just expect me to be okay with losing a part of myself. I'm not okay. I never will be okay again, guys. I never will be. That is something that I have to learn to just live with now, you know? And I hate it so much because I used to hate the hearing world. I used to hate it. Everything just sounded so loud, and I'm not sure if that was the autistic part of me or whatever, but it's just like, I used to wish God made me deaf. Oh, how I wish you didn't listen to me, God, because honestly, like, come on, man, I was just a kid, dude. You're not supposed to listen to what a kid is wishing for, dude. Anyways, fast forward, 24 was better than 24, 25. I'm about to be 25 in 2 weeks. But I can hear myself losing more hearing every day. It's to a point that I start to dissociate when I'm in public now, because it's so much to listen. I look at people in the face and I pretend like I understand what they're saying, and I don't. Because it just sounds all like what? But then on the days that I can hear, I love it. I'm like, man, I don't want to go deaf, like this is just so great. Like, I can hear music, I can hear this. But then on days like today that my ears just don't want to work, and I have the biggest migraine, and the pounding in my ears that is just so strong, it overpowers everything. It's like, I want it to be silence. And I was trying to listen to some calming music. I'll show you guys. Just some calming music, right? If I have this on, I can kind of hear it. Doesn't sound amazing, but it sounds muffled. And I took it off. Well, I was not having it on in the first place, but I put it right in my ear, just in a kind of angry way, like, fuck you, ear, like, you know what, you're deaf, let me fucking hurt you more. And I couldn't hear anything, and it made me so frustrated, bro, because nobody is helping me, man. People go, oh, we're here for you. We'll be here along the way, just be positive. And how the fuck do you expect me to be positive, man? How do you expect me to be positive when all I'm getting is just negative? My ear is not working. Seriously. Someone just... I don't know what to do, because I can see that I'm losing myself every day. And then to expect to me to show up and just... I'm a ghost. I'm a ghost in limbo, I'm a ghost in the hearing world, and I'm a ghost in the deaf world. I'm not deaf enough to be part of the deaf group with people, but I'm not hearing enough to be with normal people. So a lot of times I just tend to dissociate, because I don't like being in public anymore. It's more of a burden for me to be in public with people than not to be. And then when people go, but you rather listen to things, in the privacy of your own place. And yes, because there's no other audios affecting my ears, right? If I want to watch TV, I could just listen to TV with as okay that I can hear at the moment. But stepping out of that door, I'm miserable. It is something that I do not look forward to every day, because I know I have to put an act and pretend like I understand what people are talking about. And it's I'm angry. And I don't know how I'm ever going to stop that anger. I'm in a moment of my life that I'm pretty much just waiting to lose my hearing. But then it makes me angry too, because I know that when it finally happens, I'm going to look back and regret it. Oh, why didn't you enjoy the last little bit of hearing that you had in your left ear? Because I can't hear out of it. I hear more in my cochlear implant, but I can't hear my implant enough that it's understandable. So then I have to depend on my left ear, but my left ear doesn't want to work either. You know, my ears are like an unstable 4-year-old. It can't make up its mind. I I miss I miss being able to feel the vibrations, not the bad type of vibrations, because my eyes vibrate, because I have a condition. But I miss feeling that, being able to hear things that are, if I, you can hear a pin drop in it, and it's, where is it? Oh, back here. Oh, someone. I miss someone being able to come up to me and whisper in my ear, and and just having that privacy of knowing that, so someone want to talk to me, it's in my ear, cool, whatever. But my ears don't feel real. With the amount of technology that they have now, it the best way that I could put it, it feels like a colorless drawing book. You know, you have the outline of the picture. You have the general idea of it, but you don't have the color in there, right? Your ears give you the ability to enjoy your life. You're able to be immersed in the real world. I just feel like I'm a colorless book, or like I'm living in a colorless world. And it hurts that people just put me down and they go, well, at least you can hear a little bit. You know, at least you have ears. You know, some people aren't even born with ears. I'm sorry, but that's not my problem. This is my problem. I'm dealing with this. This is my life. This is what I deal with. I'm entitled to how I feel. I'm entitled to be angry at the world. I'm entitled to be angry at God. I'm entitled to be angry at a body that doesn't want to work anymore. And it's not just my ears that I lost, but my sense of balance, my sense of reality. Everything, guys. Just wanted this to be a little documentary, you know. I want to be able to look back at this when it finally happens. I just hope that I find her before I lose all my hearing, you know? I want to be able to hear, you know, the beauty of her voice in the middle of the night or when I wake up. I want to be able to hear her laughter, you know? I want to be able to hear, you know, my children. I want to be able to hear their first steps. I want to be able to hear their happiness in the little things that they find as they grow up, you know? Or my child say, I love you, Dad. I love you, husband, you know? And when people go, well, don't worry, you're never going to go fully deaf, you know? There's always technology. It doesn't feel the same. Doesn't feel the same. I'm coming from someone with a cochlear implant, guys. It does not feel the same. I feel like I'm just numbing reality, pretty much. That's what it feels like. And then when people go, oh, don't worry, you have the rest of your life. Yeah, but it's like I never even got to start mine.